going to the airport. This is where Bug goes abroad with Auntie Vi and her friend Jean. The next time Bug planned to stay with Auntie Vi was during the April the following year. Aunt Vi had awoken and made up her mind. She now wished to travel abroad, it was clear. She then phoned Bug's parents, permissions she sought, to take Bug with her and her friend. The destination? Bumpalumpa, she told them, and once booked, the address she would send. Bug's parents agreed and plans got underway. First of all, to Aunt Vi, Bug was sent. This way all of them can travel together. His parents said, that's money well spent. Whilst reading the newspaper, Auntie Vi said, in an article I have just read, a lady had lived till 120, poor soul. Yesterday she's found dead. Contemplating, mumbling under her breath, many more years might be pushing things, and yet in her own way she was confident. She'd be there, and without angel's wings. I don't know anyone who has lived that long, Bug replied before climbing the stairs into his room to repack his suitcases, making certain his socks were in pairs. The next day the trio set off on their travels. In a big limousine to the airport they drove. The beautiful island of Bumpalumpa was the destination that Auntie Vi chose. Bug's parents' home was the only place Vi had left the UK for in all her long life. Neighbours admired her brave resolution, knowing her antics could land her in strife. Aunt Vi and her friend Jean weren't easy adapters to new experiences like modern flight, so at the airport they caused confusion, much to school children and Bug's great delight. Aunt Vi's hearing aid wailed louder and louder, caused by the feedback the airport noise gained. Bug worried soon the aircraft would be grounded. Turn down your hearing aid, Aunt, he complained. Cell phones have got to be switched off on aircraft, thus preventing interference, they say, so that pilots on the flight decks of aircraft send and receive signals safely each day. Did Aunt Vi's hearing aid send out signals, diverting aircraft? Bug wondered perhaps. Did she receive signals from traffic control, muttering bravo, 1, 2, over, back? Amidst the chaos Aunt Vi had created, she was asked for her tickets by staff on the ground. Into her voluminous handbag she delved for them. Finally, her ticket package she found. She nudged passers-by to find out what to do next, but they passed on by with their own concerns upmost. Ooh, can you help me, love? Vi kept on asking. They chose to treat her like she was a ghost. A member of staff finally came to their aid, directing them to the buffet lounge. At the bar in there, Vi then purchased refreshments. On her pristine white blouse, she spilled her tea down. In order to wipe her blouse and mop the spillage up, Vi used every serviette that she could find. Bug said, Auntie Vi, please leave them some napkins. Aunt Vi in her own world now never replied. Through a security check, Vi, Bug and Jean went. Bug tried explaining just why this was done. He explained the protocol, though they were less assured. To the departure lounge, finally, they'd come. Bug couldn't believe the commotion the ladies made. They'd finally got there, much to his relief. Though it had amused him, he'd started to worry that they might miss the flight, was his belief. The passengers were called so they could board the plane. A Spanish air hostess then called out from the door, Please have your boarding cards ready for checking. Staff boarding will assist those needing more. Earlier, Auntie Vi's hearing aid was switched off. This caused more confusion to reign. So, then Bug stepped forward to help Aunt Vi out, intervening so he could explain. On the tarmac, Auntie Vi, Jean and Bug rushed over to where 2 planes lay. Alighting the first, Auntie Vi caused more mayhem, checking seat numbers on display. They finally sat, Aunt Vi, Jean and Bug, in silence, each one looking around. Then, over the tannoy, a gentleman spoke with a message that was so profound. Will the passengers in numbers 4, 5 and 6 please disembark from this plane? This is the Goopaloopa flight, he said. You're on the wrong flight, he explained. Aunt Vi, understanding each word that he said, stood upright as if on parade. Everything in her handbag flew straight down the aisle. One more disaster, I'm afraid. Transferring their luggage caused more delays. Aunt Vi and Jean were not amused. Yet Bug saw the funny side of everything. Knowing Auntie Vi soon got confused. He thought, when I tell Mum and Dad about this, they'll not believe one word, I'm sure. His parents, who flew by private jet only, thought commercial flights just a bore. Bug was thankful Auntie Vi could not see or hear the comments that people now made. The Goopaloopa flight then flew away, having for several hours they'd been delayed. To Bug and Jean, Auntie Vi nervously said, with everything that's just gone on, perhaps our local beach would have been better instead, even though that would mean much less sun.